Welcome back to JB Reviews. If you didn't watch the last video I did, it was actually a short. I unveiled that I got a 2023 Ford F350. Now I've done a lot of videos on these trucks, but I get to tow with this one. High output Powerstroke. In this video today, we're gonna do fuel economy run. I'm super excited to show you guys like what this truck can get on the highway. We're gonna do some acceleration tests, unload it. And my black trailer's next to me here, so I'm gonna be doing all these videos today. So I got a lot of work to do and not enough time because I only got it for the day. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh, I love that about the Fords. This is a Lariat and it has a power steering column. I don't know if you guys can see right there. And so it just makes, you know, setting up a lot easier. But we're gonna go ahead and get gas. Unfortunately, this truck got to me with no gas in it, which kind of stinks. But it's okay. I can't wait to see how this high output Powerstroke does, because it has 3,000 miles on it. It should be broken in, so acceleration should be all there. So I'll have to show you guys the boost gauge, all that good stuff. I am super excited. So I'm gonna go get some diesel from, where's that place called again? Costco. Costco has some of the best diesel because they turn it pretty quickly, number one, but number two, it's a number two. Oh yeah, I think I got all the boosts now. This thing feels a lot faster than the ones that I've tested in the past, because I want to say that Ford might be limiting the boost until you get up to 1,000 miles or so, maybe probably 500 to 700, I would say, because this truck does feel quicker on its feet. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and pull in real quickly, get this thing filled up, and then we are going to, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get this test started. I hope I have my draggy today so we can see what the 0 to 60 is. We just filled up, $83 later. This truck has a 34-gallon fuel tank. I believe that there's a DEF gauge too, so I'll show you guys some of the gauges here once we get the truck nice and warm. But here's what we're gonna do first. We're gonna go do the 0 to 60. I'll try to do at least, I don't know how many miles I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do my best to do as much as I can. I don't wanna make you guys any promises right now. So yeah, let me go ahead and set up for the 0 to 60 so we can see how it does right now. 500 horsepower, 1,200 pound-feet of torque, going out of a 10-speed transmission known as the 10R140, 331 axle ratio out back. Let's see how it does for acceleration. Here we go. Oh my gosh.
30. 60.
Here's a word of advice. When a Ford F350 high output Powerstroke is broken in, do not race them. Do not race them. This truck is fast. So I answered a question I've had, and that's this truck has boost management early on. Now I did not have the boost gauge up, I have to admit there, but it's okay, because as I'm driving here, let's see, I'm at 6 PSIs. I'm probably only like about 10% down. If I hit it right now, 32 PSIs is where it topped out at. So yeah, this truck is definitely quick on its feet. Definitely quick on its feet. Like it's really fast. Now, as I was driving it earlier today before I started recording, I felt like the power management is a little sloppy sometimes. Like, not all the time. Like, when we just did that 0 to 60, that was the best I've had since I've been testing these trucks. And I want to say that torque came on a little bit stronger than my Duramax, actually. Like, a lot stronger. I mean, of course, it has 1,200 pound-feet of torque. And I did brake boost it, by the way, too. I don't know if I mentioned that. I did brake boost it. But having the gauges, so I have right here, I have engine brake, turbo boost. My DEF level's at 34%. It shows me how dirty my DPF is. They call it exhaust filter, but I'm sure it's a diesel particulate filter. What else do they show you? They show you obviously all your measurements. They call it general measurements for like the engine coolant, transmission. So right now, you know, this is good right now. I'm glad I'm doing this test first. I'm at 201 for the transmission temperature. That seems kind of high, but you know, in the past, I had one of my friends' 2021 Ford F350 Powerstroke, and that truck ran at about the same thing actually. So the 10R140, that transmission is built to run a little hotter. Like the Allison branded trans in the Chevy trucks on the diesel side of the house, it runs about 140, 160 in that ballpark. It just depends on stop and go traffic, things like that. But I'm on the highway cruising. I mean, it's hot today. It's 89 degrees, don't get me wrong. But that transmission runs high, and that's hot for what I'm used to. Like my Eisen in my Ram ran at about 140, 150 unloaded, just cruising. Maybe at 163 if it was like stop and go, and if it was in the summertime, it was really hot. But it's cloudy today, so I almost don't need these. But yeah, I feel like that runs a little high. What do you guys think? Let me know. I'm going to put the truck in cruise control for you guys. That way you can see the boost. So we are kind of going uphill a little bit. And let's see, I'm at about what, 1500 RPMs at 71 miles an hour. It's about 1500 RPMs. And in case you were wondering, the truck has about 3,000 miles on it right now. So I'm not giving it any gas right now, but it's still showing a little bit of PSI. I'm giving it gas now, probably about 30% right there. You see how it doesn't downshift? I've mentioned this in other videos. This truck has so much power, it doesn't need to downshift. And that's about 30%. Sometimes 30% will make my Allison downshift, especially with my 37s on my Chevy Dually. I mean, this has 35, so I mean, it's still a pretty tall tire. And then this is pretty high gearing out back too, 331 versus my 342. So I don't know, what do you guys think? I think that the 10-speed does a good job of masking the pedal feel down low. Like there is a dead spot sometimes with these trucks, and I feel like with that 10-speed though, because that first gear starts with like a 4 in these transmissions, it doesn't really need low gearing in the axle ratio. So going downhill a little bit, let's let it coast. It's still showing, you know, 2 PSI. But let's go ahead and talk about some of the numbers on the door here, like for the weights. So these are the numbers. Front gross axle weight rating is going to be 5,200 pounds. The rear is going to be 7,230, and then 12,000 pound gross vehicle weight rating. You probably noticed in some of my videos you've seen 12.4, and that's for the long bed, so just keep that in mind. And then all in payload, pretty big, 4104. And I almost forgot to mention this in the video, but this truck does have a ready lift, so just keep that in mind. Since I was talking about tires, I figured I'd show you the PSI for each tire there. So you can see up front, 63, then out back, it's a little discrepancy between the two, but 75, 72. You guys can see the RPM at 79 miles an hour, by the way, too. So we're still under 2,000 RPMs. We're probably under 1,800 RPMs. And that's the beauty of having a higher axle ratio out back. It's just gonna help those RPMs run a little lower. I mean, again, as I said earlier, those 10-speed transmissions have 4s, I think first, second gear for sure. And it might drop down to a 3 in third gear. So again, those ratios are deep gears. I always forget to do this, so I like to show you like the instant fuel economy. So we're kind of on flat ground. We're kind of going up a little bit, but you guys can pretty much see there. I'm running about, that's probably about 20 MPG averaging on that instant fuel economy there. Real quickly, this is where we are for the fuel economy too, if you are interested in seeing it. So 16.9. So we've driven 17 miles. I'll probably go a little bit longer down this road here. I am in eco mode too, by the way. And then I'll turn around and then we'll go fill back up at the Costco there. This is probably the longest I've driven for a test so far, but I'm gonna go ahead and get off now. We've driven about 30 miles, almost exactly actually, as I get off here. And so going back, this would be about a 60-mile loop. And I was running at about 80 miles an hour pretty much, about 79, 78 more realistically. But I'm gonna go ahead and go back the opposite direction and we'll see what we do. But yeah, we're at 17.7. That ain't bad. That is not bad. I just got back on the interstate, and as I was kind of driving through the city to get back on, I noticed the brakes in this truck are not touchy at all. But I remember doing a test with a red 2023 Ford 7.3, and I also did a test with a 2022 7.3, and those trucks had really touchy brakes. My friend Ryan, who has a blue, I think his is a 2021 7.3, his truck had touchy brakes. But the trimmer that I tested for 2023 in this truck do not have touchy brakes. Like, I'm gonna hit the brakes right now. They're perfect, actually. They actually feel almost as good as my Rams did. I think Chevy's brakes are, I would say they're pretty similar to these. These are really good. But I wonder, if you know in the comment section, let me know. I just noticed that just now. Out of all the 7.3 Super Duties that I've tested, they all had touchy brakes. But this truck does not. And the trimmer that I did a test on did not. So, interesting. This does have wireless Apple CarPlay. And if you are hauling something in the bed, or if you're towing your trailer, you can check on it like that. I like that they give that option to you. Let's see if it'll let you see. Yeah, you can see the cameras there. So we'll check on the conventional trailer, you know, when we hook up later on. But yeah, I like that they give you these different camera views on these trucks. Steering feels a little loose. Let me see something. Let me put it in. I'm actually in normal mode right now. I'm gonna switch it over to eco mode. I don't really think it does anything different with the truck. Honestly, like, I think it might just maybe, it might turn the boost down a little bit. And I could probably test that at some point too. But yeah, the steering wheel feels kind of loose. Like, every truck is a little different. Like, I do like solid front axles because I feel like it does make the steering feel a little stiffer, but it could be the wheel and tire setup too. These tires, believe it or not, these tires are louder than my 37s. They're a little, not much, but the AT3s are a little louder. Like, my truck probably only has about 1,200 miles on the tires currently. This has 3,000 miles. I'm not sure when he put these tires on here, but they definitely have a road noise. I am going 79 miles an hour, but even in my dually with 6 tires, they're quieter than these. And actually, on that note, let's go ahead and check out how loud this truck actually is, because I do have my decibel reader right here. So at 79 miles an hour, 65 by the window, 66, 67 out back, 65. I think it's the tires, so I've had these trucks be a little bit quieter than this, but yeah, I do like the feel from the suspension in this truck. By the way, this being a 1-ton, it's a totally different experience from 10 years ago. Like, this doesn't feel like a 1-ton. It feels like a 3/4 ton. If I had to guess, like if I was driving with someone, I didn't check the side of the truck, I would think this is a 3/4 ton because it really does have a smooth ride. The interior is kind of loud, but like when you pass by trucks just now, like you can really hear stuff on the outside. There's no sunroof, by the way, too. But yeah, these tires definitely have a nice hum to them. Hopefully you guys can see that. Yeah. Ford fixed their exhaust brake. Here we go, you ready? I can't wait to hook a trailer up to this truck. It's still not as strong as the Cummins. It ain't stronger than the Cummins, but it works. and you can pretty much see that. Now we are gonna go ahead and get the truck weighed, and after this I'm gonna go ahead and take the truck back to Costco, top off the fuel. Here's where we are right now as we speak. 18.8. So I did go about 73 miles an hour, and that is the sweet spot for this truck because I was running right at 1500 RPMs, and yeah, it just did really good. We're at the weigh station. I'm gonna go ahead and get this truck weighed now, so you'll see how much this truck weighs right now with me in it. And subscribe to the channel because I'm gonna show you guys how much my black trailer weighs with this truck, how much payload it's gonna have, all that good stuff. So yeah, let's go ahead and head over to Costco after this so we can see what the final number is. 18.7 is not bad. So here's where we ended off at, 18.3, 59.7. Unfortunately, Costco was really busy. All right, so 59.70 divided into 3.737. So we got 16, oh wow. So that's pretty much a pretty big jump there. I did top off too just one time, but not much went in there. So 16 was the exact, and the computer here shows 18.3.